Welcome to 1996. And this is Hot Racing Games Screamer 2.
Welcome back to 1996 if you were born then.
Well, welcome back even if you weren't born then and been born afterwards, I suppose. This is, as far as like arcade racing games on PC goes, this was kind of the shiz, right? This was in 96. Like PC Gamer and stuff like that, basically just all over this. Like,
I definitely remember this making much more of a splash than the original Screamer. I guess.
I'm with you there. And the original Screamer is quite a different game. Anyway, so what are we going to do? How am I going to take you through this? I've been playing a bucket load of this over the last 4 weeks probably-ish.
Really?
So I've unlocked everything by hand.
Oh, nice.
It was entirely possible to type some incredibly easy cheats in to do that, but no, I've been playing it a bunch.
I mean, you've been on a retro racing kick.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyway.
Yeah, I love old school arcade races. Like it's just my thing. Like the modern ones don't seem to be quite hold my attention. Like this golden era of sort of PlayStation 1-ish.
And this would be quite a contrast, a Western one versus the kind of Ridge Racery Japanese kind of.
Sure. I mean, this is European, right? This was Scandinavian developed, so it's. Yes, what do we want to do? Should we just run through every track?
Yeah,
with a blitz of cars.
Yeah, got to start with England.
And we can try to see all the teams as well. So this is Condor. I mean, I think England's the best track in the game. Easily.
It's the classic.
And
I'm sure we had a demo before we had the game.
And the demo was England with the Horizon car, right? I don't think you could drive anything else.
Yeah,
I think that's right.
But as I've been playing it, my preferred setup is actually to drive England in the Spark.
Oh, the Spark.
The arcade
clearly. It looks like an MX-5. Clearly.
Yeah, but it's a Miata. It's definitely a Mazda MX-5. Yeah, I think that all these cars are like based on that's clearly sort of 911-y kinda.
Yeah, clearly.
Not so sure about that. Maybe that's like a Mitsubishi.
Yeah,
maybe.
I would say so.
That's a Honda NSX. That is like pretty much like for like.
They pretty much are like for like, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking I'll take the Spark, but you don't get to like in arcade mode. You can't customize your like tires or anything like that. But as maybe we'll demonstrate a little bit later, I found that process to be very glitchy. Like as soon as you started customizing your car, weird stuff would happen.
Interesting.
But England seems to be not only the most stable of the tracks in terms of things going glitchy and a bit weird, but also it's I don't know. It's just nice to drive. It's
nice.
It's got some nice straights with some nice going into some nice turns. There's it's marked as the easiest course in the track, but I dispute that because it's actually got. I don't know. I think it's like technical. I think it's a good one if you wanted a time trial, right? Because you can fluff the lap in terms of time. Also, it's the collision modeling. It's really not in your favor. But it's if you mess it up, it's forgiving enough that you don't lose a huge amount of time.
Indeed.
So it's a good time trial-y circuit. Whereas the others can be a little less forgiving. I haven't quite got the. See, the handling in this is pretty good. Like, it's.
And this was obviously for software rendering of the time pretty nice looking at the.
So
I think so.
So I'm running this in its 65,000 color mode at 640 by 480 resolution.
Right.
And I'm doing it via DOSBox X.
So we would have played it at 320, I guess. Yeah,
we would have played it at 320 by 240 because that was my PC couldn't. I mean, it could run the high-res version, as it was called, but it wouldn't run super well. I mean, it doesn't run. It runs kind of strangely on DOSBox, even on my PC here. Like, it's not a flawless frame rate. The frame rate is all over the place, and it's hard to know whether that's just the game.
That's kind of authentic to the experience.
Yeah, because DOSBox X, like according to its stats, is emulating far more CPU cycles than we would have had back in the day. Yeah. But it's still, the frame rate is still inconsistent. So it's
Well, I mean, for a start, there's no way we would have been getting 60 frames out of our machines at the time either.
No.
Not only the 320 resolution, we would have been well under 60.
Yeah, I guess. But we have been rocking monitor. Yeah, who knows how monitors even like scaled themselves back then? Because like old CRT PC monitors they had a wild range of supported refresh rates.
Yeah.
So it's like, who knows what was actually telling the monitors to do back then? Maybe that was finding like a happy medium of like 50 hertz or something, and that's would have looked fine to our eyes back. Also, we were kids, so we were child,
and we didn't know any better, really. Yeah.
So we wouldn't have wouldn't necessarily have spotted any of this.
But I do like the art direction. It's very earthy for this, and like it's great that the one skybox they have for England is like
grey.
It's like correct for England. There's so many where you get like a nice sunny British summertime day, for the England track, and it's like that's not what England's like.
I also think they did a much better job in this game than in its sequel, Screamer Rally. In characterizing the environments, So this. I mean, this is a caricature of England, sure,
of course.
But it looks more the scenery around the track is more varied and more just generally nice compared to Screamer Rally. Screamer Rally seems to like go for a more realistic look to the track design, and I don't think that worked in its favor because the racing is still identical. The racing is still this, so it's
despite being called Rally, which kind of implies a bit more realism, maybe.
So there we go. That's England in the spark.
There's England.
Should we change team so we get a different colour scheme? Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
So one thing I guess I haven't really tried since unlocking everything is unlocking all of the... I haven't tried any of the bonus cars, and each team has their own bonus, so I don't know how any of these drive, but...
I remember there being a truck.
Yes, the truck's the only one that matters.
Oh, the truck's like the best car in the game. Like,
of course.
As far as it's great. And the AI is actually when you at least in the championship mode, when you play the last league, all of the AI cars are the bonus cars.
Right.
And the AI seems extraordinarily good with the truck.
Right.
So maybe that tells you something. Got to take the Horizon to Egypt, though, for all the drifting. Now, notice this at the start. What? Do you see that? What is that about? All the cars like slightly drift to the right.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now, I really don't remember the original doing that. But
weird.
But it happens consistently in this DOSBox. Well, this is the game. It's just straight up. It's off the CD. But it's the DOS. For some reason in DOSBox, I don't know. The physics can seem a little bit weird. Like they feel a little bit drifty. Like there's a high wind or something on the circuit.
Here in Egypt.
It's a little odd. I mean, maybe the original did it, and I've been on YouTube since and been like, is this like an other footage I've seen of some of the tracks seems to behave the same, so maybe it always was like that, but it is weird.
But is all the footage emulated on YouTube? Yeah,
exactly. Right? Is everyone just capturing the same way I'm capturing now?
Yeah.
Dang.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was in the game and we just forgot about it.
I think I need to turn up the AI difficulty. I thought it was on pro or on max level, but I'm not putting up much of a fight at the moment.
No.
Either that or I've been playing this too much.
Well, there is that.
Or I've been playing it on keyboard, as I think we talked about before, going on air, like while I was doing all this. So right now, I've actually mapped an analog controller to it, and this is the first time I'm playing it analog, and maybe that's actually better. Maybe that's easier.
Well, that would make sense. Also, I want to point out probably one of the few things that I really remember about this game is that, like, one of the things we did as children, because it's one of those things you do as children, was hit every obstacle on the track. Every code, every box must be hit.
Yep, gotta hit the bonus points. Penalties if you leave something at the end of the race.
like Buggy Boy style.
Yeah.
That's because they like the physics of hitting them is quite satisfying in this as well. They're not like is it like some of the Sega games where you hit them and they just sort of fly off into infinity? Like no, these actually sort of bounce around a bit and still end up on the track. Also, there were a couple of corners you could hit. Like it's like some of the banked turns in England, right? If you hit them at a weird angle, the car just basically goes vertical.
Yeah, because of all the weird lumps at the side of the track.
Hit the baskets. Yeah. Oh, I got a couple. Hit that one. Yeah. It's the trickiest turn on this whole circuit, that one there. No. Whereas this one's not so bad. Just go left. It's easy. Bosh, bosh, bosh. Bosh, bosh. Keep hitting it. Bosh. Oh, it passed through the car. Bosh. I remember finding this music more annoying back in the day than I do now. It's but there's nothing to it, is it? It's just like. No. Also, I've driven past it now. I want to point out that texture on the wall in that canyon there, the sort of like stuff carved into it.
Yeah.
Just shout out. They did a really good job with that because it's sort of they've designed it with the perspective of what you'll be traveling towards it in mind. It looks
very
right.
Cleverly done.
Yeah. That's probably the most impressive texture work in the entire game, I think. That one bit. Like,
but it's just compensating for the fact that it's not actually 3D.
Yeah, they can't model it, but they made it look nice.
Yeah.
Also, you're about to encounter a DOSBox glitch.
Is that meant to be like Petra? But that's not in Egypt, is it? But, you know, the city that's carved into the rocks or whatever.
Well, maybe, yeah.
In the end of, like, Last Crusade.
I guess there are bits like that along... a bit too much drift. Bits like that along the Nile, aren't there? Like, sort of stuff carved out on the way. Oh, overdone it. There's times like that where the hand you oversteer and it's like it's really hard to get your grip back and keep going again. You just sort of grind to a bit of a stop. And also, why am I drifting across the sand here? What's going on? And like everyone else does it as well. Also, check out that. Oh, you can't really see it now, but check out the beautiful LOD models of those cars. They do just turn into squares.
Yeah, they're practically squares. Yeah.
Let's see if we can bump the difficulty a bit. Oh no, it is on Pro. I don't think it goes. Oh, hang on. I can't navigate this menu with the controller. Hold on. Rookie normal Pro. Oh dear. Okay. Sorry, guys, you're not going to look at the enemies that much.
What does damages actually do in this?
So, I think it does. I think that's as in the aesthetic damages are always on.
Right.
Like, but you really have to mush your car up to start getting. And what that means is just a texture change.
Yeah.
But if you turn that on, I think your steering gets messed up.
Oh, right.
Basically. So it's no fun. So it's. Especially on the Columbia track, as we'll get to later, because it just becomes impossible to drive. All right. Oh, hang on. There we go. Roll the dice. What team we got this time? We'll just scroll through. We're going yellow.
Going waspy.
Wasp. Right, what we got? California, which the AI is apparently incredibly terrible at. Shall I take the Hornet just for fun? I haven't driven this yet.
I'm gonna try.
There isn't a.
It's like a Suzuki. What's it called? The tiny little 4x4.
God, what's going on with my wheels?
One of those.
Oh, I didn't think that. Oh, right, it's just perspective. I didn't think they were on the ground. Yeah. I can't see anything.
Wow.
Which is just as well because I think this is the easiest track in the game. Partly because it's quite easy, and also the AI is atrocious at it. They all seem to get stuck on this turn. Watch them fall back on the little graph at the top of the screen. Bye. The Condor made it round.
This ties in with our recent San Francisco Rush episode.
Yeah. Now this Hornet steers quite sharply.
I mean, we were speculating about whether the AI problems are an emulation problem or not. Like, if it's somehow the AI is like frame linked to and it's not expecting it to have some extra frames or whatever.
Yeah, or if the frame rate varying as much as it is giving it a bit of trouble. Yeah, okay, maybe the Hornet was a poor choice. I can't see anything.
I mean, it's fine.
Ooh, yep, there's the pinball wall.
Whoa,
That one always ejects you strangely. There's one. I forget which one it is. There's one of those red and white like barriers that you can just get stuck in. So did that.
Right.
Also, there's bits like when you're in like there. Can you see that? There's like I don't know if there's some rendering glitches where it just looks like you can see through the world.
Through stuff, yeah.
I mean, that might not be a glitch. That might just be where they didn't render those parts.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah.
There's definitely some like triangle sorting issues in places, like very PlayStation-like again. You see what I mean? Like accelerating there out of that on that gravel is not great if you mess up that turn.
I didn't even remember that this game really tried to do full-on urban city environments.
Well, this is the one. There aren't any more. Well, unless you count unless you mean like the town in Egypt or.
Yeah, well, yeah. I really mean this. Like, I forgot about this track. I think I remember the next one, the Finland one.
You can tell I've played this too much here because I know at this turn you really want to aim for the inside because you're going to hit a couple of lumps that you can't see, and then there's another lump before that turn. And then
You got the geography in your head.
There's just traffic lights there that are just on a non-junction road where it's just like, here's some traffic lights.
Well, I mean, that happens, right? That's where a crossing could be in the...
Doesn't look like it, though.
Yeah, I got some cones. Let's go.
Nice.
Too busy chasing the cone. I messed up that turn.
Oh.
Also, what's up with the blimps? Like, there's just blimps over this city. Also, yeah, that jump feels a bit
wasn't
windy.
It the James Bond film that was set in California, San Francisco, ended on a blimp, didn't it?
Oh, did it?
A View to a Kill. Anyway, that's not a very memorable one.
No.
It's a yet another Roger Moore one, I think, and it's got Grace Jones in it, I think.
Oh, right, that
Jumps off the Eiffel Tower or something. Who's the baddie in it? Anyway,
have you seen all the Bond films then? Like, because I'm sure I've got a huge, like most of the old ones I haven't seen.
Oh, I've seen all the Sean Connery ones for sure, but Roger Moore, he made so many that I forget, like, a lot of them in the middle. Like, obviously, I remember Live and Let Die, which was the first Roger Moore one, and The Spy Who Loved Me is the famous one, the one that Alan Partridge goes on about.
Right.
You know, the one with the big cargo ships that eat the submarines or whatever.
Right, yes.
Yeah. But there are some weird ones. There's the weirdest one is, of course, Moonraker. But there's definitely some forgettable ones. Like A View to a Kill is like, I don't know. I think the evil diabolical plan is to like flood Silicon Valley or something. I don't know.
I think I always catch the end of like maybe it's not the one that's mostly on like network TV here in the UK or something, where it's like they're in some like clearly like they didn't mean for you to look to the right there. There's nothing there. Where it sort of ends in Egypt or some like Arabian castle or something, or there's an Arabian castle siege, but for some reason he has an army of women. I don't really know what's going on because I've never seen the start of that one, and so I don't really know what the major plot is. It just seems to end in this, or at least have this insane castle fight.
I don't even remember that one. There's so many Roger Moore ones. It's ridiculous.
Oh wait,
they must have been making them every couple of years at that point.
I guess, yeah, must have been quite a cadence. I mean, I guess we've got to take the truck, right?
I guess.
into the snow. I find it funny that for some reason in arcade mode, like if you pick a bonus car, the other teams don't pick their bonus car. Oh, I got Frenched. Oh, now I'm in the snow and I can't accelerate. This is sort of some of the problems I was talking about. It's like, what's going on here? I'm boned. Get going. Get going. Come on, car. Go. Go. You kind of need to have a good run, because if you get screwed, you get really screwed.
Okay, I'm looking them up, and there aren't as many as I thought, but it's still quite a few I don't remember. So the Roger Moore ones are Live and Let Die, yes. Man with a Golden Gun, which is Scaramanga, right? It's like Christopher Lee, and like Knick Knack, the like racist tiny Asian man, no whatever. And then The Spy Who Loved Me, yes. And then Moonraker, famously bad. And then
I think they're attempting re-entry.
Exactly. And then 2 I don't remember at all, and then A View to a Kill. So A View to a Kill, the San Francisco one, must be the last one that Roger Moore did. So the 2 I don't remember are For Your Eyes Only, completely don't remember, and
maybe that's the error.
And Octopussy. Great name.
No, that's ringing a bell. Maybe that's the...
I think Octopussy must be the one with the, the car that's the one, Lotus, that turns into a submarine.
Oh, right.
I'm guessing. Or is that The Spy Who Loved Me?
Is it the Sean Connery one that's on like a boat and they have like a disco room or something?
Probably.
Isn't there like a disco scene or some... It's really weird. It's really strange. He's hostage on a boat, but he's on the bad guy's boat, but he's basically given free rein, and he's not captured or anything. They just let him wander around this boat, and of course he does Bond stuff on this boat.
He does Bond stuff, right?
It's really weird.
Maybe that's Octopussy. I mean, it's got a sea kind of theme.
This is definitely okay, admittedly I've never driven the truck on this track before, but this is definitely harder without the championship letting me put snow tyres on. It's way driftier.
Oh, you think that's actually because of the tyres and not just the track?
Yeah, I don't know. Could be either. I quite like this track as well, because it's got some quite, well, if I don't skim the walls, it's got some quite good lines to just try and skim through. I discovered it's actually quicker to stay off the snow as much as possible. Although it's tempting to go on the inside, don't, because it's too marginally faster to stay off it. Accelerate
There's
a little
the
bit.
implication here that the engine of this truck is in the bed.
That's what it looks like, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound nearly meaty enough, though, does it? It's just another one of the bees. It does just sound like a little bit like a guy. That's my problem. It's just some guy
making engine sounds. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, maybe it's the next one that I remember best.
Those are some fast spinning windmills.
Yeah, do they have windmills like that in
Finland?
Yeah, I would have said none of this looks particularly Finland-like to me.
Aqueducts? Is aqueduct a Finland
Yeah,
thing?
I wouldn't have thought so. Finland's really flat, right? Apart from the small hills you get in rally stages, obviously, but those are not it's not mountainous for most of it. I don't know about windmills. I mean, I'm sure they probably had windmills at some point, as most civilizations do.
What would you put on as scenery in the Finnish track?
I mean, there isn't any.
No, it's just snow and trees, isn't it? Does Finland have the bright red houses? Is that a Finnish thing, or is that a?
It's more of a Norwegian thing, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the one thing that you wouldn't work for this game's version of scenery would be like lakes. Obviously, that's
Right.
what Finland's known for, but wouldn't be able to see them on this with the design of this game.
What about the mooses? Is that a Finnish thing?
Yeah, I guess. Well, maybe not.
Sure.
If they're mooses,
Reindeer,
I don't know. Yeah, reindeer.
Finland, Finland, Finland.
Bonk, bonk, badonk, badonk, bonk, bonk. This is Switzerland. Who do you want me to play as now? We've done all the teams.
We better get through the rest of the special cars, so do the ones that you did do.
Okay, this might be a good one for the Condor one, because the Condor special car really doesn't steer very well.
Okay.
But it's a pretty. This is a pretty. Yeah, it's another one of the what I'd call one of the easy tracks. Really, it's quite. There they go, severe drift. Whee! And also this first
textures.
and also this not this first turn. Sorry, this second. Oh god, there's some weird. A bit of slowdown there.
Yeah.
This turn here is like quite evil in terms of the physics for some reason. Like you come up it and then like. Oh no, it's let me off that time. Like accelerating up that little hill to this turn is sometimes you just don't.
Right, you got to slow to a crawl. Yeah, I definitely remember this track as being a favourite other than England, I think, because it's got like a combination asphalt and then it goes to different surfaces.
Yeah, it's mostly asphalt, this one, but it's also mostly a straight line.
Oh, and nice engine note in the tunnel.
Oh yeah,
That's quite fun.
Heel. I like that there's like one collision noise and they play that same noise even when you hit cones. So it's like bang! A little nod to Ridge Racer there, Ridge Racer helicopters.
Yeah.
I'm
Animated
sure
cows.
that's not necessarily a nod to Ridge Racer at all.
Well,
I don't
maybe
know.
not.
More like just a rally thing. Not that this is the rally game, but similar.
I actually don't know when did the first Ridge Racer come out? That must have been before this in arcades, right? That must have been
Surely, yeah.
because the first Screamer game was more Ridge Racer-y. Right, it was road races. It was, the classic Ridge Racer style of all the other cars are slower than you. Just get from the back to the front.
So this was Virgin, published by Virgin.
Published by Virgin.
Yeah,
Yeah. Whoa, that's a random spin.
And was this Virgin like literally when Richard Branson was doing all kinds of things like music and
Yeah, I guess.
Virgin megastores and stuff? He's like, oh, I'll get into video games as well.
Didn't they get into like book publishing around this time as well? I seem to
Probably.
remember.
And airlines and trains and all kinds of crap.
What can I buy today?
Yeah. That brand is totally gone. No, Virgin Atlantic still.
Virgin's still about, yeah. Virgin Money's still about, right?
Oh,
In
right.
the internet, the ISP.
Oh, yes.
yeah.
Yeah, Virgin Media, that's definitely still a thing.
Yeah.
One of the best providers in the country, actually. But
I actually forgot that I had Virgin Media for years. Yeah.
because they, in the UK at least, they got their Virgin history. Here we go. This is how much we care about Switzerland. Oh, shit. I screwed up.
I mean, that castle is very reminiscent of the England track. Anyway.
I guess, yeah. There's a hole in the. Do you see that hole in the geometry on the left there? It just doesn't really fill in. I think it's because this game's doing like the PlayStation thing, the segmentation trick, right? So like it's got quite heavy LOD applied to the track as well as all the objects. So it's by that I mean like it resegments all the polygons as they get nearer the camera. You can sort of see it on the insides of turns in particular.
Yeah.
And I think at that bit of the track, the segmentation's just gone a bit wrong.
Yeah.
And they didn't bother fixing it.
Ship it.
And there we go. Yeah, I'm slightly... Can't get the wheel spin to stop though, up the hill.
pro-level opponents are fucking miles behind.
I know. It's a bit disappointing, isn't it? Admittedly, I'm in the bonus cars, which do drive faster, and this is, as I say, this is a mostly straight circuit, so you do just leave them behind. But they're reasonably well balanced because, as I said, the last championship in the game, you don't have the bonus cars, but everyone else is driving them. And it's still winnable. I mean, that's the thing. We're not seeing it a lot because I'm in the lead all the time, but like the AI does make mistakes, and I like that. They do feel pretty human. I think
the standards at the time,
yeah. I think the collision model is a little bit in favor of the AI. Still, it has a tendency to spin you around and not them so much, but it is possible to French the AI a little bit. Sorry, we should probably explain that.
In the
your personal terminology.
Yeah, because it's not well-known nomenclature for it's basically like you get pit turned by someone, but it comes from when I used to play Forza 2 back in the day online, and probably got as far as persisted until Forza 5 and stuff like that, where it would always be the players who with French names, basically, or were brandishing a French flag on games that had nationalities associated with you. They would always be the ones that would just crash into you and cause you to spin out at no penalty to them. So that whole process we've referred to as Frenching.
Frenching.
Not the kissing.
Yeah, exactly. The verb would mean snogging, wouldn't it, for most people?
For most people, yeah.
Americans, anyway.
Well, let's take the. Oh god, it's freaking Colombia. Well, it can't get any worse. I cannot. This is this and the secret track, the tunnel, are like my Achilles heels. I cannot do these. Drift to the right.
Oh god, yeah, I remember this being.
This track is evil. For a start, it says easy right, but actually what it means is a sort of left right. Or sort of right left S bend. Yeah, it all blends
muddy
in.
Mess. Yeah.
This turn's not so bad, but then there's this little extra kink here that you really do need to be careful of because there's just there. It's ugh.
Oh man. Oh.
And then a nasty little turn here, and then another right left S, which is really tight. Oh, I've lost it. I've lost control. There we go.
S, more different S.
More S. Esser. This one's not so bad. Onto the bridge. This is nasty. Oh boy!
Oh no!
Get off!
No.
And then you get into an additionally nasty turn, which the car really. Oh man, I don't know if this is just the bonus car, but this is really struggling to turn around these.
This one's front-wheel drive for some reason.
Yeah. Not that I'm sure. The only car I think that actually makes a real difference with that is the Radiance, the rear-wheel drive car, which has a proper tendency to spin out. But I'm not sure the front-wheel and four-wheel drive cars really handle all that differently. Oh shit! I forgot about that. Through those birds. Screw you, birds.
Smack.
Yeah.
I think lots of white birds are attracted to car races.
No.
This is not. It's not a good-looking track either, is it?
No. Sort of I think had you not continued to try and unlock everything in the game, this might be a slightly disappointing last track.
Yeah, for sure.
But it is definitely the hardest track in the game.
Yeah.
I just haven't really dialed in how you're supposed to drive it fast.
More birds. Does Colombia have those Mesoamerican temples? I guess Colombia.
Oh no, I've lost it.
No, I don't know, because they're more like Mexico. That's further north.
I mean, it's sort of all the same thing at a certain point into the top of South America, right?
I guess so.
all the Aztec territories as you go as far down as like Peru or whatever, right? That's where it.
Do they go that far down though?
I don't know
Peru,
if that.
Inca and Peru.
Yeah,
like
it's
right?
technically different, but like kind of the same.
But there's quite a few of those civilizations, right? That are like similar but not the same.
Yeah, but they're all just down that, spreading further and further down South America. You just like fade from one into the other.
Yeah.
I mean, Aztec is definitely like around Mexico City, right? But is it the Mayans?
Yeah, as far as Mayans was the one that came to mind.
They're the only three. There's probably like 50, and the only ones I know are Aztec, Mayans,
and the Incas.
Inca.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Mesopotamia? No.
That's in Iraq. That's in the Middle East.
I'm sure there's something a little bit like that, like something. Teas.
I mean, you're thinking of various Aztec city names.
Oh yeah, probably am. Yeah.
Well, the main one, Mexico City, was Tenochtitlan.
Yeah, I think that probably is what I'm thinking of.
But that's the Aztec. That's not near Colombia. Shows how much we know from our limited British education.
So you can tell I did much better in the Horizon when I raced this in arcade mode before. Anyway, that's all the bonus cars. What on earth? So the tunnel you have to work really hard for to unlock. You have to.
Right.
You have to. In order to unlock it, you need to defeat the last championship of the game, but with all 4 teams.
Right.
But we must have done this when we were children.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We definitely did it.
The tunnel in the truck at one point.
Yeah, exactly. That was, absolutely. That's like an overriding memory of this game for me, is attempting the tunnel in the truck.
In the truck, yeah.
But the tunnel is definitely another one of those tracks that has supremely weird physics going on. I'm going to take the fairly standard. What is basically my favourite looking car in the game, the Condor Horizon. I don't know. It's the one from the demo. I've just always liked it. It's just nice.
Yeah.
It's a very.
I was wondering if the Condor logo reminded me, and I suppose it's a little bit Brotherhood of Nod.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just a little bit. That would be the year before, right? But that's like a scorpion tail, isn't it? So quite a different.
Yeah, in a triangle, right? Rather than,
it's a triangle. Yeah. It's just a color scheme.
Well, no, it's like isn't the GDI logo the eagle claw, right?
Yeah,
apart from it's gold,
so it's like
both of them.
Oh yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
It's a homage to both.
I mean, it's the same era, so it could be. Well, you're making it around.
Yeah, it's not going so badly. There's one of these, like, oh god, the wind pushing me left there, whatever's going on there.
Yeah, the wind. Shift.
Shift. It's not as bad as the Zeus tunnel. Oh no, but did I do this? Oh, I must have done the Zeus tunnel if we're here already. One of the team's like bit of tunnel. There's a way you can literally fling yourself down the track. You just fly for ages. I think this is definitely what we tried to do, right? Is like ride those higher, bumpier ridges around the edge of the track to see how much we can float.
Maybe.
And it feels like the level designers want to get a job working at Psygnosis or something.
Yeehaw! Still, that went well.
Woo! Oof.
Oh,
they got screwed as well.
Whoa, look at those textures. Wobble.
So much wobbling.
Yeah, this is like UK rave scene trying to, not quite Wipeout levels of cool. On the
It's not bad though. It's not bad.
Yeah,
it's got that sort of that acid filter going on. Bass in your face, London.
You just don't hear this stuff anymore, do you? I suppose it's just out of fashion, but
I mean, there's some of it still about. It's just not, mainstream.
It's just not in the mainstream, yeah.
Oh, God. I'm so stuck.
I just think you'd expect some hip hop artists or something to just sample all of this stuff and just make it new again.
Well, yeah. I mean, they sample everything else.
Yeah.
The number of like deep video game sample cuts that make it into hip hop tracks.
Yeah.
It's quite large.
Do they have to like pay licensing for that the same way they do for music? Maybe not. Maybe
they probably don't even hunt them. I wonder that about a lot of sampling. Like, you're supposed to hunt it down, right, and license it properly and accredit.
I'm sure if they're on the big labels, they have to, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, these days you can if you know you're going to make enough money, right?
Well, this was going well. Until I got stuck in massive corner pile-ups. Oh wow, that was so much worse than the last time I arcaded this. Anyway, that is
Screamer 2.
pretty much all the content of Screamer 2. Yeah.
A game of our youth.
Youth, yes. I mean, I guess in Happy Salad tradition, what we should have been doing is playing this split screen, because it did that.
Right, yeah.
It did that. Yeah, and there is a 3DFX version as well, but I could not get that stably running.
I mean, that's not authentic. That's not how we played it.
It's not how we did it, no. But it existed. Apparently, like Screamer Rally, the sequel, actually included the 3DFX patch for Screamer 2 on the disc.
Oh.
So you could, and technically the version we're running here probably isn't exactly the version we used to run, because I did have to put a patch on it to make it a little less crashy in DOSBox, but that patch wasn't responsible for all the weird physicsy stuff. Like it was it was the same before I applied it. So yeah, that's Screamer 2. We could take a brief foray into Screamer Rally so you can see what they did with the sequel if you wanted. Or we can call it there. It's up to you.
Sure, we can spend 10 minutes on Screamer Rally. I don't mind.
All right.
Up to seeing it.
There'll be a quick cut in the video right here. Swoosh. All right, welcome to Screamer Rally. This was, I think released just 1 year later.
That looks like a real car, like a Renault or something. Is that the idea? Like
it looks a bit Peugeot-y. Yeah, it definitely looks a bit. Well, if all the previous cars were rip-offs of real cars,
this is going even further. Yeah, recognizable.
Because that looks a bit like a Quattro. That one.
Yeah. I thought I saw a Ford of some kind. Yeah, interesting.
So yeah,
I quite similar.
Oh, I know what I haven't done. I haven't mapped this game with the controller. All right, let's get the keys out. I've got a keyboard here that should function. Let's see.
Okay, now we can see your driving skills in digital style.
I haven't played a lot of this like ahead of the video, so this is all. I literally just got this working, and played a championship, and that's about as much as I've done on it. But.
Oh, they got lazy with the menu.
They did, yeah. It just became. This is what I mean. I think they realised it's like, we can crank out a sequel in a year real fast. What are we going to do? Yeah. Like, because not only does this seem a little less effort.
Yeah,
but
frankly.
But if you go to like you will have noticed it's like it didn't make us pick a team, and. That's because there aren't teams in this. There's just cars.
Oh, ditch that whole concept.
Yeah. So it's like I don't think there's even alternate liveries for the cars, as far as I remember, anyway. But I could be very wrong on that. Don't take this into. And because I guess I've unlocked some tracks, but like could make a start on a championship, I suppose. Let's do I did League One. There you go. That's as much as I've played before going into this. Let's go into League 2. Also, this music is slightly more mental, I think.
Right. Amped it up a bit.
I wouldn't say good.
No,
but
not
mental.
In a good way. Yeah.
Let's go to China. Right, what card do we want to take to China? I'll let you pick. We can either have the the Peugeot, here known as the Sonal or Sonal.
That's the Peugeot, and then you got the Renault's the yellow one, right?
I guess. Yeah, that looks quite Renault-y. That looks a bit like a Megane.
Yeah, Meganish.
Kino. Clearly the Quattro. The Quattro, called the Mo Trail. We're on the trail for Moustache. And then I guess that's the Escort, like a Cosworth.
Yeah, kind of a Ford Escort Cosworth, yeah.
Yeah, the Skendel. I mean, these are all pretty funny names. The Kino, the Sonal, the Mo Trail, and the Skendel. Skendelus. Let's take the Skendel.
Yeah, you gotta have the Skendel.
Oh, I didn't see what. Oh, let's just take the standard. Like, yeah,
standard Skendel.
Skendelus. Oh, drift to the left. Still doing that.
Why does the Skendel say Quasar at huge letters on the back? I guess it's a sponsor.
So,
well,
first thing to note: 6 cars on track now.
Wow,
like duplicates.
Yeah, there's dupes. That's sort of the
Not
problem.
even 6 different cars.
And I think it's less cool because it like the team system at least meant that you had some sort of association with who you're racing against. I don't think you can really tell on this because you've got dupes and there's no like names above the cars. It's like I don't know that you have that sort of rivalry through the championship,
Right. To even know who's the one who has more points.
Yeah, who've you got to beat this time?
this track doesn't look better. I think it's lazier.
Yeah, I mean it's the exact same engine, I think.
Yeah,
They've made some minor optimizations, I guess, to get more, or they just thought computers are more powerful this year, let's just throw some more stuff.
Just add another car in there, yeah.
It's like the I guess the ground texture doesn't look too dissimilar from Egypt's ground texture and from Screamer 2, right? It's just but it doesn't look as tracky, do you know what I mean? Like the Screamer 2's track sort of felt like, most of them sort of had like a groove in the track, right?
Yeah.
In Egypt aside.
Yeah. This reminds me more sort of visually of Sega Rally, I think, maybe.
Oh, you think?
Perhaps not.
I mean, no one's shouting easy left at you. So
that's true. Man, that gravel popping up behind your car looks well bad.
Yeah, well, that was the thing.
sparkles.
Like none of the Screamer 2 had the exact same behind car effects as well, but they didn't animate well there either.
But they blended more, maybe.
Yeah, I think because it's just like giant circles. It's not even like
we would do for Glacial Speed Racer.
Well, it's not even like the smoke's fine, right? Like you see what I mean? It's animating at roughly the same speed, and also I don't know. I guess of note, like alpha effects, right? Like I guess they really were like doing the PlayStation. This engine is so close to how the PlayStation would do things. It's able to handle the same sort of alpha effects that PlayStation can. But yeah, they could have at least made the gravel look like it was like streaking or flying away from the car or something. Like make them a bit more spark-like, I guess, rather than just solid blobs. It's weird. I'm back here going first. I have no memory of these tracks either, like from back in the day. I have no. Do you see what I mean about the scenery though? Like around the track, like I think it's harder to get a anchor your memory to something.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, compared to like that England track, yeah, it's like one of you.
I don't know if it's going to stay like this on the other tracks, but on this one, it just feels like they've positioned all the scenery stuff further away from the track, because like in Screamer 2 everything is like right there. Screamer 2's tracks are kind of canyony, aren't they, really? Like I guess all track design of games from this era kind of was, but I suppose this is the most memorable part of the circuit, right, with a big wall by the side, and then it's gone.
A wall.
And then it's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, there are buildings and stuff there, but for some reason, and that giant statue just there, but for some reason, they just don't.
China.
Yeah, it just doesn't stand out. And what's the deal with these like green pillars?
I think they're meant to look like the certain kind of tree that you do find in China, but like a kind of willow kind of thing. But yeah, they don't really pull it off that well. But I think I know what they're going for. I think it's a kind of Chinese tree.
and
Asian tree.
I think one of the get ready for disappointment things about this is I actually think this is one of the better circuits.
Okay. Perhaps we'll just check out one more and then.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. They've added like odd, like visible at least, like lumps in certain parts of the track. Like it feels a bit more off-roady, right?
Well, it's a rally game, supposedly.
Supposedly,
It's in the name.
it's more rally cross, I suppose, if you want to make that distinction.
Whee! I've got like junks in it's like how many cliches can we squeeze on the side of this track?
You're not jumping over
No.
a small little humpback bridge in England.
No.
It's the most satisfying jump in that first bit. Also, there's something about this music I really don't like. This almost like didgeridoo sound.
No, it's bad. Oh, is there Wales? Can we go skip straight to Wales? What's that like compared to England? Oh, we're going to Canada.
We're going to Canada.
Okay.
No, we're not going.
Okay.
Wait, is Wales in the list?
I thought I saw Wales on the background.
On the
backdrop. Yeah, it said Rally Wales.
I don't think I've unlocked Rally Wales.
Okay, fine.
All right, what are we taking this time? So we've seen the scandal in all its glory.
We have. What about the Began?
You want the yellow? That's a colour we haven't explored. Oh no, Wasp was yellow. I was about to say we haven't explored the possibilities of yellow in this video. Oh, it's foggy. Like we didn't get any of that at all actually in Screamer 2 just then. Like these weather conditions are totally random, and there is no option to control them. Oh, it's a bit framey.
I think the fog would help the frame rate.
Maybe.
Well, I guess this is Canada. It's pretty foggy.
Pretty foggy and cold. I would say the Renault doesn't handle as sharply. I guess we can see the bases of big trees. That's Canadian, right?
Redwoods, maple syrup, I guess. Maples. That would come from maples, not redwoods, I presume.
I guess. Oh, Quattro.
Because redwoods are in like California all the way down. But I guess they're in Canada as well. Maybe it's just maples. Maple leaf is the symbol of Canada, so I'm confident to say that they have maple trees.
I think that's a safe bet.
Yeah.
It would be pretty funny if it wasn't. we just like this symbol.
It's just
No, it's secretly been weed this entire time. And we really like our formative drum and bass for some reason.
here in Canada. Maybe it's the fog, but I'm not getting the strongest Canada vibes.
Probably is the fog.
Yeah.
Do we need?
Definitely not healthy.
Would it make you feel more at home if this race was taking place to the sounds of Nickelback? Like,
Yeah, that would. Yeah, Avril Lavigne.
wait, look at that guy go.
Whee!
I'm not doing very well. I'm only third. Depends whether CP2 is ahead of me.
Yeah.
Who is CP2?
They don't even have the same cars, do they? They change as well.
Yeah, I think because I changed.
Oh well, it's depending on your car.
Possibly, yeah. Because that was how it worked in Screamer 2. If you picked, I think if you picked like Horizon, say, Zeus would always pick the Nebula. And Angels would always pick the Radiance, and Wasp would always pick Spark. Like it's predictable. Maybe you could use that to your advantage. I don't know, and be like, the AI is going to be crap at this track because I gave them that car.
Well, one of them at least.
Yeah. Or the guy I really care about, anyway. I'm stuck. Well, if he was driving the same car, that would have been CP2.
This is the weird thing about this game, or well, this track at least, is that there's like, if you look at like England in the last game, where it's just like, it had a road texture, but it didn't have a white line. Whereas this one does have a white line, except in this game, the road just stops and turns into dirt, which does sometimes happen in real life, but not like.
Not often in major developed countries.
Well, not often on a road which has a white line.
Well, yeah, that too.
Well, blame Canada, I suppose.
Because if you want to, like, that is the one thing about that England track that like doesn't feel so much like England. Is it like it's the classic American tarmac texture, not the texture you get in England.
Oh, what you mean? It's too smooth.
Well, it's that way that it gets the color grading that American tarmac does that ours doesn't as much.
Well, it does happen in this country, but mostly on the highways, right? Like you can definitely see that effect. Well, like, kind of like what's happening here, I suppose, on that little stretch of road. You can definitely see that on like the A roads, but like where the wheels would be, right, is a slightly different shade.
Sure, but in our case, I think maybe also it starts darker on the American tarmac. Like,
yeah, maybe it's a different mix.
Yeah,
it's almost certainly a different mix. The question is ours more or less potholy?
Probably more. Well, depends where you are.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's something that is a totally different game, but like that's something that is always weird when you play like City Skylines or whatever, where it's just like it has the American road texture, but then even if you switch it to like left-hand drive, or you switch it to, even if you get a mod to give you like European style signs or signals or traffic lights or whatever, it's just like if you don't change the texture, it still looks wrong.
Right, yeah.
It's even more pronounced in City Skylines too, because it has a really strong version of that coloured zone, even on the city streets.
We beat CP2, by the way.
Oh.
Even though we came third. He was in a different car.
Well, yes.
And we didn't do this either. We were like, there's replays! Yeah, boy!
Replays that function.
Yeah.
Unlike certain other old games.
Yeah, do they replay the actual events of the
I believe they do. I believe they're fairly accurate.
What was the one that used to make them up the most? Destruction Derby 2?
Oh, Destruction Derby, yeah, definitely.
Like, this is what happened. I don't remember this.
Yeah, the cars would just get stuck driving into walls.
Well,
I mean, we didn't actually show that actually the game does have like the Sega like Daytona USA style. Like you can race in these views during the race, but
right, okay, yeah.
I find them. Even though, like in most racing games, I do like actually prefer driving in car if I really care about driving well.
Yeah,
it doesn't work for me in this game, not at all.
No,
like maybe the windy physics are what really throws me. I don't know, but you can drive like that. You can have a bonnet cam. They have a near and a far version of the cars, but you definitely just want to go for
standard
the standard view. In Screamer 2, actually, we like you had the in car, but you also had the in car view where you could see your like a flat texture of the dashboard.
Just obscuring your view.
Yeah, a little bit like the first Need for Speed, right? You know, that kind of look where it's just like, yeah. So you could do that instead of this. Instead of it didn't have near view was the thing, so you got that in version of in car instead of this. I mean, it's got a little bit of a reflection map going on the windows there. Look, it's got some tech.
I noticed that in Screamer 2 as well.
Yeah,
well,
techers.
Wow, technology.
All right, well that'll probably do for Vidya. That's Screamer.
I think we're done screaming into the void.
I'm just gonna save state on this. Hang on, because you can do that in DOSBox X. That'll pause the music for a second. There you go. Save states in a DOS game. Who'd have thought? And we didn't encounter a crash. We got lucky.
Good.
Wow.
Yeah. So I guess all that's left to do is decide. Oh, we're still left with this music. Damn it! I was hoping it was going to change back. I guess all that's left is to put some credits on screen. How are we going to do that?
Look at that. R spin. Let's have them spin on like crazy. Or maybe drift slightly from the right.
Oh, yeah. We need to sort of do, engine at the start of the race. It's like 3, 2, 1. Almost perfectly timed with the audio from the video there. That'll do. Thank you for watching. We are Happy Sad. We do lots of these videos. Some of them new, some of them positively ancient. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of old school racing. Look at the pixels. Look at them all.
The pixels.
If you don't want to look at those pixels, though, and why? And why wouldn't you, though? I mean, they're so big. Then you could just have the audio at happysalad.net, where the podcast exists. The Salad Cast, in fact. Available also on this YouTube channel and on several of the podcast providers. Check that out. And we've also got an X address and a Facebook address and possibly a Blue Sky in the near future, where we will be posting when we've got new stuff available.
Yeah.
Not necessarily on time, because I can't be trusted.
Regularly, ish.
With some cadence.
With a cadence, yeah.
Indistinguishable from madness. Thank you for watching. Someone going to say bye for me?
Bye for me.